Good morning. Coming live in a minute or so.
Before we go too far.
Good morning. Give me a minute.
We were lovers and the best of friends. And I know that we can be there till the end. Sometimes the lover,
Good morning, everyone. Give me a minute.
can be angry till the end. Oh, but it's always the friend inside that will make amends. Oh,
how did we ever lose our way and stop to say love is a losing game? We will never be the same.
bring your love on back to me.
Bring it back.
Stop this insanity before we go too far.
Before we go too far.
Before we go too far.
Before we
Morning.
go.
Well, good evening, y'all. Hi, Sophia.
Before we
Give me a minute.
go
I'm almost there.
too far.
Besides, tell everybody he bar usually with the music.
Before we go too
That was a
far.
great recorder, Layla Hathaway. Live from the tub outside of my room in the Maldives. Hey, we're going to get the show going in a little bit. I'm going to play one more song. One more song. Get everybody. Now remember, I got some requests. If you got some requests, I want to ask you some questions about the Maldives. I'm down. But first,
Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. Wanna chemistry's rolling like the last, 'cause baby you're a better half. So just in case, think of how we made love almost anywhere. Haven't I taken you almost everywhere? Think of all the things that we shared and imagine me not there. Oh, giving you more careless than the baby. Got you everything, anything I got, you can have it, baby. I'll do magic. I'll do all I can to keep you satisfied. So just in case I don't make
Still
it
starting right after this
tonight,
song.
baby. Just in case I don't make it home tonight.
Why didn't he-
Make love to you for the
Let me get
last
a-
time, baby. Make sweet love
One
to
last.
you like the last, 'cause baby you're the best. So just in case. So just in case I don't make it home tonight. Just in case. For the last time, baby. Just in case. Just in case. Like the last, 'cause baby you're a better half. So just in case. Haven't I made you feel so special? As your man, I've held your hand, never letting go. Let you hold the keys to the Lexus. We tried, gave you all you need and want as long as I'm alive. Even from the heavens up above, I'll shine out all. Too much is never enough. Oh, you're all I want. Even when I'm gone, love will carry on. It's just that strong. So just in, yeah. I'll make it home tonight. I'll make it home, baby. For the last time. Oh, oh, oh. So if something happens to me, there's something you need to know. Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. I love you, wanna cherish each moment like the last. 'Cause baby, you're the gotta have. So just in case I don't make it home, I want you to know. Just in case, just in case. Let me make love to you for the last time, baby. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, you make me whole. 'Cause baby, you're the gotta have. So just in case, just in case, just in case, baby. I want just in case.
That's the sound of Jack Heat. All right, let me see if I can stop the music. Well, it's morning here. We're exactly 12 hours ahead of you guys in Los Angeles. So good morning. This is part of my daily routine, as it looks like. You know, I woke up at about 3:45, fully refreshed. Got up, made some coffee, because the room service doesn't open till even 7. I mean, it is the Maldives. And so I got up, made some coffee, and then I decided, well, today would be a good day to do another live stream from the tub. I got a routine. I'm going to do this, get the tub, get out, stretch really good, and we're going to go have breakfast. And then I'm going to see about some water sports today, whether it be kayaking or jet skis. I may be the slowest moving jet skier you've ever seen. But I'm going to go see about that today. So I want to tell everybody about the Maldives. You know, it's really interesting here. This is an interesting place. And notice I don't seem to be falling apart, even though I haven't smoked any weed in a week. But it's a wonderful place. I was rapping with my room attendant. You know, it's interesting with the brothers, like looking like I look with the hair. You just get attention. Oh, by the way, you guys, there's a bunch of Russians here. I think all of Putin's buddies are here. There's a bunch of Russians here, a bunch. I don't know, but they got that Russian oligarch kind of look to them, because everybody in this place, you don't get here unless you got something happening. But so I think I see some of Putin's people. But that's cool. But what am I mostly seeing? A lot of Indians, a fair amount of Asians, a bunch of Russians, a bunch of Germans, a bunch of gay Indians. I guess this is the place because India is so anti-gay. I think this is the place the rich gay Indians come with their loved ones. And so a bunch of gay Indians here too. At least they have the outward aspect of being gay. I try to flash the hair at them. Need to get some hits. Anyway, so let me tell you about the things I'm going to be posting on coming up. First of all, I'm going to do a little small video on the toilet and the bidet, because I'm really adapting well to this bidet. I am. I never used a bidet before, but now I'm in the regular habit of spraying my ass when I get off the toilet. And it's all thanks to the people here and the wonderful, they have one of these spray things. So I'll show you guys, because Americans, we don't really do a bunch of that. We don't do a bunch of bidet stuff, but I think a bunch of you ought to think about it. Stop streaking them underwear. You got to get that bidet. A lot of foreigners find it amazing that Americans would take a dump, wipe their ass, and not wash. They're amazed by that. They're actually astounded and shocked. Some are disgusted. But it's common in a lot of these other countries out throughout Asia to wash your ass after you take a dump. You literally wash your ass. So, not a bad habit. Not a bad habit to have, washing your ass. What can I say? Let me see. Let me see what other stuff we got here. What these controls say. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to get this stuff hooked up. Okay. All right. So, let me tell you some more about the Maldives. Let's give you a quick history lesson. The Maldives is an independent sovereign state that gained its independence in 1965 from England. So it's a sovereign state. Now it's very interesting when you go to the website and they talk about things not to import. They don't even mention drugs really. They mostly mention, they said no liquor and no pork. I laughed because Thornton said they probably rather see you smoke a blunt than see you eating some bacon. But it's funny, they had bacon. Okay, out of everything on the menu, there was one thing. There was a club sandwich, and it had bacon on it. I've not seen bacon anywhere. Not at breakfast, nothing. I get these omelets, and so, but there's no bacon. I'm not sure I see any pork at all. You know, no porco. No porco in this day. Okay, in this day. So, see that? Nada porco. Not a porco. Anyway, so I wanted to say to you guys, thanks for all the support. We're lining up everything for the rest of the year for the Urban Nomad series. Looks like I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff around the continent of the United States, and also at least 3 times a year I'm going to be going international. The plan for this year is the Philippines, Cebu City, also Palawan in the Philippines. You look to Google that, CEBU, and Palawan, Palawan, in the Philippines. And then I'm also going to be going to Vancouver, which is, when I went to Vancouver, Canada, I felt like that's a place I can live. I mean, it was, I love the vibe, So I'm going to spend like a month there. And then I'm looking at Bangkok. It's either Bangkok or Vietnam. So, and we're in Vietnam, and Ho Chi Minh City. So, as part of the Urban Nomad series, we're going to go around to these places and give you the perspective of a 64-year-old single, never been married, never been engaged, black man with no children. I'm going to give you his perspectives. Now, let me say this. Contrary to what you guys are saying, I'm not out here specifically looking for a woman. No. But I am paying attention to things and looking to broaden my horizons. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with good old, down home African American females from the United States of America. Let me get this straight. There's nothing. And that is my rock. That is my rock. So I love you. I love black women. So I have no problems. I don't have any wars with black workers. I don't have any. I don't generalize and stereotype black women. They're okay. I tell my friends, even some of those who constantly talk and rave about other nationalities. I say, you know, there's a black woman in the United States of America that fits every brother and most white men too. Listen, what I'm saying is that the black women in the United States of America, they are of such a variety. And when I say variety, I'm talking about in terms of mentality, beauty, looks, because you know, black mixed with anything kind of comes out good. I don't know if y'all noticed, a bunch of people have, especially those of you who have these children. You know, black mixed with anything looks good, and black with Asian, that's damn near cliche. And black and Latina, they got whole countries that are black and Latin, so you can get every kind of mix. You know, don't even get to the continent where the countries are so varied and different, but I'm gonna get there too. So what I'm saying is that I am not out in search of women. I tell you the truth. And I'll say this, and I mean this. I would be as excited to explore women in the U.S. South as I would be overseas. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. U.S. South. Have y'all experienced a good Southern woman lately? One of those ones that's all soft spoken and seemingly cultured. I remember I met one and we hit it off and she was engaged. I remember she told me, she said, I do believe, Mr. Mario, that were I not already engaged, I might be planning to marry you. And she smiled at me. And I said, damn, I missed out, didn't I? She was something. She was something. I like the Southern woman. You know what else? Someone reminded me too, but I didn't have as much experience. Women from the Midwest. You know what? You know what it is, you guys? And this is when we get some shit. Women from everywhere but Los Angeles, New York. That's probably it. Women from Detroit are totally different. Women from Chicago are totally different. Seemingly, it's just the women from New York and the women from Los Angeles that have that vibe. But I'm saying, if you really want to find, I think a lot of the brothers I hear talking a lot of shit here in Los Angeles, it's the type of women they go for. It's the type of women. Get you a nice down home. You know, hey, I like a farm girl. I wouldn't mind a farm girl. I ain't driving. Hello there, Ernestine. And I think I saw Linda. Good. Hey, Ernestine, my supporter. What's happening? Ernestine, I was just telling them about the virtues of the women in the United States because I'm here in the Maldives and everybody's talking about the ladies. And I'm just saying, in the United States, just a variety of black women. And we got every nationality in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, you can get as close to any country you want. You can get Filipino right off the plane, Mexican right across the border. You can get Indians that just came in. You got every part of people from all throughout the continent of Africa. You have everything. So, LA, you can see it, but I'm just saying, tends to that. When they get to LA, if they don't have a little attitude, you got to get them before they get one. But anyway, as the women will testify that I met on Facebook, if you get a woman from other parts of the country, they just are more grounded. I'm sorry. They just are more grounded. You know what I think the biggest issue? Okay, now I got an analysis of this. Because this is kind of personal. You know what the biggest issue, I think, with women in LA and New York? They don't want to be good to their man. They literally do not want to be. Somehow, they've been conditioned that somehow being caring or loving to your man is being subservient, that they don't deserve it. I can't tell you how many women that I've known and dated. It's been a few who treated their friends better than me. Better than me. And I told them, I said, wow, if I could just be treated like your friends, I would be happy. It's like, okay, somehow they've been conditioned that if they get a man and they treat him in a loving way, that's a sign of weakness. See, a woman in LA and New York, they love to say, I don't need no man. I don't have no man. I'm on my own. I say, right, you sound like a textbook case. Therapy's awaiting you. You should get a good therapist and go and unravel some of that shit. Okay? You need to. Because that's the main problem of why I have to go looking for women outside of Los Angeles. The women in Los Angeles have the attitude almost adversarial. It's like, what can you do for me? And what have you done for me lately? And that's how they're evaluating you. And a bunch of the women who cry the blues that they don't have no man out here, that's because they're using those criteria. They're not selecting good men. looking for men who can pay their bills, support them, and they're not looking for a partner. They're looking for someone to take care of them. That's the problem with my ex, who I mentioned her first name, Tina. She's a nurse practitioner. She's been working. She was an RN who just got her nurse practitioner license. Her starting salary offers were between 110 and 145 a year. Okay, spoil that shit. You know, when she talked to me yesterday, she said, "Why don't you bring me some earrings?" I said, "No, no, I'm not your man. I'm just reminding you. Remember, I'm your ex. I'm not your man. I'm sure you have a man out there somewhere, and ask him for some earrings." So I'm just saying, this is an example, and she's actually a good woman too. Let me just be careful. See, I was sick. She cared for me like nothing else, and she was there 24/7. So let's not make it black and white. These things are not black and white. They're gray. They're shades of gray. And we say 80-20. So you may get a woman who loves you, but she may be a spoiled brat. You know, that's what my ex is. She loves me. You can tell, if you were to see her when she greets me, how she looks at me, you would say, "Oh, that woman loves you." And I would say, "Yeah, but she's still a spoiled brat." Raised and with an Indian father and an African American mother, her social desires are based on her father's teachings. And I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing. Listen, ask Celeste Paris. I am the brother of women. I'm supposed to let you know. I am the man most least likely to be P-whipped. Ask my exes. I am the man least likely to be impressed by your beauty. It's like meeting stars. You know, I get a chance to meet stars sometimes, right? Musicians, performers who I've idolized. And I'm like everybody else. In those first minutes I meet them, I'm all caught up. Ooh, it's so-and-so. Ooh. But that shit wears off on me really fast. I only stay the adoring fan for about 10 minutes. So, if you're a fine-ass woman with my kind of body, my kind of look, I will respond. But that only gonna get you 10, 15 minutes. Oh, maybe an hour, okay. I want to know who you are, where your head is. And so often, that is disappointing. That's all I can say. The main reason why I am solo is not because I don't have beautiful women approaching me. It's because a lot of the women that approach me, that's all they have, is beauty. That's all they have. They're just beautiful. And they don't know what to do with it. I remember I met a woman years ago who was gorgeous, who was so fine, you would bite your lower lip. You know what she told me in confidence one day? She said, "Mario, I try not to talk too much because I know I'm not that intelligent, and I'm around intelligent people." Can you imagine that level of self-esteem? A beautiful woman when she's with you around others, she's doing her best to keep quiet because she's afraid she will sound stupid. Wow. So, I'm just saying, everybody wants something different. A bunch of the brothers are writing me. So therefore, okay. So to me, the prospect of Asian women, Latino women, black women, it has to do with the available pool. The reason why I dated so many Latinas is because I trained at LA County Hospital, where I learned to love Mexicans, specifically Mexicans. Everybody else in South and Central America too, but I specifically learned to love Mexicans. I took care of them. I learned my pediatrics off the blood, sweat, and tears of Mexican immigrants, undocumented, illegal, whatever you want to call them, immigrants. Okay, I learned my pediatrics. I learned to run ventilators for children. I learned how to take care of near drowning. I was actually an expert in near drowning, when you found your baby at the bottom of the pool. And I learned off the blood, sweat, and tears of immigrant children. So if you ever wonder why I have a thing for Mexicans, because I owe them. I owe them big time. I owe them a debt I can never truly repay, but I sure as hell will try. Okay, so that's why I love immigrants. Immigrants are part of my story. Okay, like I said, I learned my pediatrics off the blood, sweat, and tears of immigrant children and their families. I'm intensely aware of that. So, I like immigrants. And with Latino women, okay, here was the big thing. And I don't want to make it sound too sexist. Okay. So the first thing I noticed when I dated a Latina, they daddy had already trained them. They daddy. Okay, this is the stuff you had to ask for an American woman to do. They daddy had already trained them and their mother. So it was a different type of loving that I experienced. So when I first started dating a Latina, it was just different. A different kind of loving, a different kind of attention. What they saw as their role to me. You know, literally, I had the debate about who's cooking because they didn't want me cooking all the time. It was like I was taking over their shit. And then we had these debates about who's cooking better. You know, I was like, okay, that's gonna be like that. I can cook, I don't need it. I said, okay, all right. So that was the first thing. Then the sense of family, which also gives Southern blacks. I learned why they come to the hospital, the whole family. In fact, when I was dating a Latina, if someone in her family got sick, I went with her to the hospital and sat around for hours too, because I was supporting her. And she was showing her friends and family that she had a man who cared about her issues. See, that's what you have to remember. When you deal with your woman's people, she's showing her people you. Treat them with respect. I know how to treat those Latino elders too. I learned that in county because of my patients. Just like when they would come to the ER and it'd be mama and grandmama, I always spoke to grandmama and acknowledged her every time. Well, ain't no difference what you say to mama. If your grandmama's there, you better talk to her. So I would talk to her and mama. They would notice that I was talking to me. They would give me these little looks. I would go. They would say, "Mable, muy amable," and I would say, "El gusto es mío." I'm just telling you. So, Southern black women do the same. You know, Midwest, they got black people on farms. I watched a video the other day of this white guy and his fine-ass white wife from Arkansas working on a boat motor. They bought a boat for they bought a yacht. It was simply a yacht for $5,000 because the engine was broken. And I watched this man and his woman take the engine off this boat. She was using a ratchet set. I'm like, you know, they don't have this in LA. I watched this other dude, his wife, they build cabins in the woods. He goes out there, builds the frame and the outside, and leads her to do all the interior. Just leave. Oh, honey, I'll see you at that. I'm going back to the house. He drives, whatever, 40 minutes back to the house. So, that's the way it is. Ernestine, you know what? Don't settle. Don't settle. I'm convinced that these journeys for us are meant to take us somewhere. See, okay, Edgar Casey, who I loved, the sleeping prophet, the inventor of holistic medicine, Edgar Casey, said that whatever seems to be haunting you, it never goes away, right? Whatever seems to be haunting you. And he said the reason why it doesn't go away, those are your endless chances to correct it. Those things that are haunting you and bothering you and terrorizing you, once you conquer them, then you turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. You turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. So when the minute that a woman who's been abused stands up for herself, she's stepping into the right place for her spirit. Karma, if you study the higher levels of karma, and that's not just reaping what you sow, the higher levels of karma indicate that whatever experiences you need to happen to you in this lifetime to take you where you need to go, they're going to happen. And so if you need to have your ego boosted, the universe doesn't help you with that by just sending people to say they love you over and over again. The universe challenges you to stand up to that. And when you do, you become another person. You become another person. I used to be very controlling in my 30s. And the reason I was controlling is because of fear. If I loved you, then I got afraid. You know, if I fell in love with you, then I was afraid. You gonna leave me? You know, I had to back you up. I had to watch what you was doing. You know, fear. And one day when I realized that I was doing all of that out of fear, then I changed. One of the women that I really loved in my 30s, you guys, I loved her. She's my friend today. I was in love with her. Do you know she never felt that? And when she told me that she never felt that, I cried. I cried. I said, here, this is, in my life, okay, there's like three majors. Okay, just three. Three majors. And this is the first one. And she didn't even know I loved her. I said, did I say it? Did I say it? You can't say it enough. Did I say it? See, fear. Fear keeps you from being open with people. Just like when you meet people, you try to hide who you are. It's a mistake. When you meet folks, you should try to reveal who you are. See, okay, the way it should work. Oh, Lord. Hold on. Oh, just in my eye. Okay, the way it should work is you meet someone that you infatuated with, and while you are kind of going to naturally be on a certain kind of best behavior, you need to let them know who you are and what you're about. That's how you find out if they're for you. There's no need to hide who you are. Show them who you are. Tell them who you are. Don't. And first of all, there's release in that. The big issue for me, the health issues. And I got to the point that I was really no good for a woman. Okay, I got to a point thinking I was no good for a woman. Remember, in 2018, I had a stroke and I had major back surgery, L3, L4, L5. The big back surgery that you hear everybody talking about that they're scared of, I had that one, okay? And was in a body jacket for a month and a half. Because I was going to go through that, and I was on my own, because in 2018, right before when I had the stroke, was the same time my longtime buddy, BB, passed. And so that was my buddy, my friend. She was married. It wasn't like that. But like I said, I stayed friends with people for life. BB was my soulmate. She was married. I was friends with her husband. Died. And she died while I was in the hospital with the stroke. I went to see her on her deathbed, and she made me promise to go to the hospital because I was having weakness. I couldn't write my name. My hand wasn't weak, but I couldn't write my name. So BB, on her deathbed, pulled her oxygen down and said, I want you to promise me you're going to take better care of yourself and go to the hospital. And I said, BB, are you really going to pull that on the deathbed, dying, promise me shit on me? Really? And she pulled the oxygen mask down and laughed. I'll do whatever it takes. I said, okay, but next lifetime I'm going to have some shit for you to do on deathbed. So my ex, BB, who I was with for 9 years, she made me promise to go to the hospital. The next day I went to the hospital. I went to Taco Bell, got me a burrito, a couple tacos, ate them in the parking lot, and walked right into the hospital where I worked for 30 years. Saw the ER doctors who all knew me and the nurses who all worked with me, who checked me right in and put me in the special room and all that, because they didn't want all the staff to come bothering me. And I told them, you guys, whoever wants to come in here, I don't care. They can come say hi, they can do that. I get it. You all know me, just, whatever. So they told me 2 hours later I'd had a stroke. I got my handwriting back. And I will say this to this day once again, because I say thank you, Lord Father, because I've seen what strokes do to people. If you have to have a stroke, have the one I had. Have the stroke I had, which was the biggest warning sign that the God could ever give me. My mother says that to get your attention, God, the universe, they will throw pebbles, but they can also throw a brick. That was a brick. After that, I made arrangements for the back surgery for that following August. Now let me tell you, because of my back, I lost 2 inches, well, 1 3/4 inches of height. I literally shrunk 1 3/4 inches. And when they went to do my back, they evaluated to see if you need a fusion, because when they take out that bone in the middle to give your nerves some space, your spine can become unstable. Some people have to, once they pull out the bony areas to free up the nerves, sometimes they have to put rods along your spine to give you stability. I didn't need that. My spine had fused. There was absolutely no rotation, no mobility in my spine whatsoever. The whole lower spine had fused on its own. When I met Keena, it was 6 months after that, because I was on Match, right? And I don't know why I was on Match, first of all, because I wasn't really ready to date. And there was a box, 60 to 70, that scared me. 50 to 60, and 40 to 50. I clicked 40 to 50 and 50 to 60, and I got a woman who just turned 40. My luck. Some people say I'm blessed. I say I'm challenged and blessed. I say I'm challenged and blessed. So that's how I met Keena. And what happened was, when I responded to her match, she wanted to communicate. And I was like, oh, hell no. So when she sent a message about talking, I took like 8 hours to respond. I couldn't, First of all, I was like, what am I doing? I can barely move. What am I going to do? See? I was like, why did I go and match? Why did I do this? I can barely walk. I use a cane, which I don't use because it's getting better. I have these rough periods, This means I've been lazy with the working out. So now that I'm working out more in the Maldives, my back is slowly getting better. But I still have the cane with me. And that's why I had the airport assistance. Because one time after I went to all this, I couldn't get to the airport. I couldn't. And so I had to get airport assistance, which I didn't want to get. And my mama had told me to get the airport assistance. And I was so ashamed and embarrassed. I put on sunglasses because I didn't want to get the airport assistance. But, I found out when you get the airport assistance, everybody who travels with you goes to airport assistance. So when I went, when Lachelle and I went to go to Wimbledon, that's my friend Lachelle, don't think anything. She took good care of me on that trip. We went to Wimbledon, but she'll tell you that assistance is nice. They took us all through everything easy, and even here, assistance. So if you really have any issues with stuff when you travel, you got to ask for assistance. Don't be ashamed. I was ashamed. Like I said, I don't mind sharing stuff with you guys because, see, remember, my karmic beliefs say that as I do that, I improve my own life. I'm doing this for me and you. I want to improve my life. And improving my life means I have to step up as a man and confront things. And it's not easy. You can have a lot of stuff. You can have money and prestige and all that stuff. But what is that going to be if And I'm you feel good about yourself. What is all that? You know, it's been a year, over a year. This woman held me in my bed over a year. I was just thinking during that full body massage that this stranger was massaging me in a way that felt more than I felt in years. Hadn't felt nothing like that. Like 3 years, I forgot what it was like. But you know what I mean. Someone holds you in a kind way, loving way, better than sex for a lot of us. Better than sex. Oh, life's journey is ways to journey of self. To accept self and our limitations. Being willing to accept our blessings. And first of all, we have blessings. Some of you got up and walked to the toilet with no this morning. What a blessing. Some of you woke up this morning and stepped out of bed without pain. What a blessing for you. Some of you have children who adore you. Who adore you. What a blessing. Some of you have parents who love you dearly, getting old, but love you dearly. What a blessing. What a blessing. I think the point of this morning's session from the tub, I guess that's what I'm trying to, because I never know when I do these, you guys. It's not that kind of thing. My version of reality TV is reality. Sharing with you the realities. I don't try to shape it. What I am going to try to do is do an Anthony Bourdain style show about the Maldives with all the voiceovers and all the photos, all the narrations, all of that. I'll try to do all of that, but I don't try to fake it. I don't need to. The reality of our lives is story enough, isn't it? And I tell you, a bunch of y'all, your life is so interesting too. You just don't want to share it like me. You just don't want to share all that stuff. And that's okay. Hey, listen, I'm serious. I would not be doing the shit that I'm doing if I wasn't a 64-year-old, retired pediatrician, 30 years at Kaiser, with no wife, no children, never been engaged, but has been loved blessedly by some wonderful women. I would not be here doing this if I wasn't trying to get some stuff right. I'm trying to get some stuff right because in my perspective, things come when you are worthy. Or if the karmic balance is such that it wants you to leave you there. I totally feel the universe is leading me toward a mate. Okay? In fact, it seems to be helping me to rehab because I seem to be getting better to a degree with little work. I have to work harder. Rehab is painful exercises that you need to do every day, you guys. Okay, I'll say that again. Rehab is painful exercises you need to do every day. Hi, Tanya. Oh, I have been loved. And like I said, I'm not mad at black women. And I've known some badass sisters. Mae Jemison, your first black woman in space, she was my friend. She's my friend. We trained in LA County. She told me she wanted to be an astronaut. We were working on a kid in the treatment room in the middle of the night in LA County. Your first black woman in space, Mae Jemison. She said she wanted to be an astronaut. And you know what I said to her? I said, you want to let the white man put you in the tip of a bullet and shoot you into the sky. I think you're crazy. I am shriveled. Mae Jemison, your first black woman in space, that is one of the women I'm talking about. And I say, someone you could be proud. That's a class act. That's a class act. She was doing African dances and exercises. She has I think is she a chemical engineer or from Stanford? I think it's chemical. She's got an engineering degree from Stanford and then an MD degree. Okay? So I'm just telling you, your sister, Mae Jemison, go look at her. Your first black woman in space. The FBI came, she called me up, she said, Mario, I want the FBI to come. They want a list of people to interview. What's that name? They want the FBI to come interview me, and I signed a bunch of petitions. I'm an activist. She said, oh no, it's okay, it's okay. So the FBI came out to my house, interviewed me about Mae Jemison, your first black woman in space. And I told him it would be, how did I say? I said, that would be to the benefit of NASA to have Mae Jemison. Let me just say that. That is a clack that. I don't know if you are worthy of her. That's what I told him. Shit, I said, I don't know. But let me tell you, she's a class act, and you would be blessed to have her. You would be blessed. So I have known some. I ain't mad at sisters. Sisters ain't done nothing bad to me. No women did nothing bad to me. There's some shit bad that happened. And they didn't do that to me. I mean, people cheat. They cheat. I cheated. The woman I fell in love with, we met cheating on people. Ain't that karma? I just was talking to her. She said, well, I told you I wasn't going to. I said, you didn't tell me shit. See, I told you we're friends now. See, women I love, I still love them. So the same one who I loved, we recently discussed all of this. We discussed everything about our past. Because I love her still. And she's happily married. And believe me, see, if you really love people, you'd be happy when they happily married. I'm like, I wasn't going to make her that happy. Shit. I'm looking at all of them. All of them, I think to myself, if you one of my exes and you in a relationship, were you happy? Bless you, because you probably wasn't going to get that from me. There ain't a whole lot of women out there saying that. You know, I've been told, they say to me, Mario, you're a lousy boyfriend and a wonderful friend. That's kind of good enough for me. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's time to get out. I'm going to go walk over there and get some breakfast, get my usual omelet, some of that smoked salmon and capers, and then I'm going to walk today. I'm here wishing you the best for your journeys, and know that we're on journeys too. Deborah said you're emotionally high maintenance. Hey, Deborah, I'm the most emotionally high maintenance. Celeste told me that I was the most insecure, overachieving person she's ever met. She said, you're the most insecure, and if you want to piss me off, don't be loving to me. She said, well, my ex will tell you, girl, if you want to have a discussion with Mario, go home and get the dick and then talk. Because if you talk first, you ain't getting no dick. That's the truth. Piss me off, I'm a pop. I'll be sitting there looking at YouTube and Netflix. I'm just saying, I'm that dude. I am. I'm a Cancerian, July 2nd. We sensitive. You can't just say any shit to us. You know, that's the problem. A bunch of y'all got mouths. You know? Go live in the ocean. Okay, Tanya, I'm thinking about it because okay, Tanya, just so you know, I got the GoPro in an underwater case. Okay, but I'm not sure if I could go. Okay, you want me to try to go live in the ocean? And I forgot my wet bag for the phone. I had bought all these wet bags. Stop that, Tanya. Stop that, Tanya. Don't go there. You know what they say? Used to hate it till I ate it. Oh, that's right. Don't pull my ears. Don't pull my ears. Don't pull my ears or my hair. Don't pull them. You always want to pull my ears. Don't let go my ears. Stop it. No. Don't let go my ears. What you doing? Let go my hair. Oh. The trick, fellas. I'm gonna give a sexual video at some point. And not that I'm no sex expert, but I do know the anatomy, okay? Like, you know, if you can't find the clitoris, I'll show you how to find one in 3 seconds. Okay? Okay? So we're gonna do that in the future. Mario's Guide to Sex for those who can no longer rely on their dicks. That'll be the title of the episode. Mario's sex lessons for all the men suffering from erectile dysfunction. Well, let's just say for all those men where it gets heavy, but not hard. You know, and I'm going to teach you the other things, so that you will still have confidence as a man. And you, first of all, men out there, practice talking to your woman. I know it's hard. Maybe you got to sit her down and say, honey, okay, I want to do something. I'm going to take you out. Doesn't have to be expensive dinner, wherever they like, quiet place. And express to them in a quiet moment, once again, that you love them. And that you want to be a better man for them. And that you're inspired. Because you're inspired by them, you want to be a better man. That's what inspires you to be a better man, is them. Let them know that. And let them know that you can try to be different in ways. Sexually. You can do things differently around the house. You can prioritize things that they want to do. You could actually try to stop everything you're doing. Put your hands down and your phone and turn and listen to them for at least an hour every day. Just straight up listen to them. And if you do that, your sex life will start to change. I know. I am a relationship guru, not because I know how to do things right, but because I know how to fuck them up. I have fucked up relationships in every kind of way you could imagine. All you gotta do is not do what I did, and you'll be all right. So, Mario Hemsley, I guess the urban nomad and relationship guru, ending this broadcast live to you from the tub in the Maldives. Peace.